What's up, y'all? Today is Sunday. I am headed over to my mom's. We are going to go over and eat dinner, and we have to do Munchkin's hair. Her hair is a team effort. Gosh, it's like I remember those days as a kid having to get my hair done, and it used to at least be 2 aunts on my head at one time because it just was a whole bunch. But anyway, so I wanted to hop on this thing today and start this conversation series. So this is going to be the first installment of what I am going to be calling Coy Convos, and this is just for us to have conversations. This fucker's just sitting at a green light. For us to just have conversations about different topics or whatever. And today we're going to start with selfishness. So I figured to start with selfishness because that is one of my biggest pet peeves. Like, a selfish person, I can't, right? And so what I mean by selfishness is not so much as acting in the best interest of a personal interest. You know what I mean? Like, you're always going to act on your best behalf when it comes to, you know, your job, your children. If you have kids, you're going to act in their best interest. What I mean by selfishness is like when your actions are to serve your personal self, and those actions are to the detriment of someone else. As in, like, if you know for a fact that whatever it is that you're doing is causing someone else harm, and that could be physically, mentally, emotionally, then that shit is selfish. You know when you're doing something that is going to negatively affect someone else. Like, for instance, okay, I'm gonna give you an example. Alright, so you as a parent know your child has to attend school every day, right? But it's something coming up on Sunday that you just absolutely have to go to, but you don't have nobody to watch your baby. So you instead go and drop your baby off on somebody on a Sunday night, knowing they have to go to school the next day, knowing your baby has to go to school the next day. You go drop your baby off on somebody and take your ass out, you know, shake your ass all night, get drunk, get high all night, and here it is Monday morning, it's 11:30, you just waking up and your baby ain't in school because you didn't make sure your baby was in school because you just had to go out and shake your ass. That's what I mean by selfishness. Like, your actions are to the detriment of someone else because you're acting according to a want that you just have personally, like, and you're not really considering who else is going to affect. So let's rewind for a second. Now, we all can be selfish at times, like, it's no doubt about that. But when that's just your nature, that's just the person you are, you're just an all-out selfish person, that's where we gotta draw the line. I can't do that. And so I'm gonna just tell y'all about a personal experience that I now in hindsight understand was very selfish, that this, you know, this happened to me in my life. So this year in May will make 7 years that my grandmother has been passed away. And as a child, you know, like, I want to say maybe as a young teenager into my late teens, early 20s, I had it on my mind that I wanted to, because I knew the day would come that my grandmother would have to leave this earth, right? But my thought process at that time was, I want to die before my grandmother, because I couldn't imagine the pain that I was going to feel once she left this earth. Like, I didn't want to have to go through the hurt of her departing this life. So I was like, the solution to that would be, I just die before she does, and then I won't have to go through it, right? And that was my rationale, and I was dead serious about that. However, as time went on and I experienced life a little more, as I experienced as I worked a job for a long time, and I got to experience the people at that job, as I had gone through some relationships, during my late teens and in my 20s, as I just experienced life more and just started to understand more about life, I had to reevaluate that whole situation. Like, I was like, man, I would never want to die before my grandmother because of how badly it would hurt her, and I had to realize that, like, the reason I wanted to die before my grandmother was completely selfish thinking on my behalf, because my grandmother loved me that much that if I were to have died before she died, that would have completely destroyed her. Like, to put her through that, you know what I mean? I just would never ever want to do that. And that's just an example of what I mean by selfishness, and like I said, we all have our selfish moments. So selfish on my behalf to think that I would ever want to have her experience that pain just because I didn't want to, and of course when she did die, it hurt me a lot, but I would much rather take that pain than have her take that pain, and then another scenario, just say for instance, like when you dealing with a person, say, you might be in a romantic relationship with a person, and you notice that person treats you as an option while you treat them as a priority. That's a selfish motherfucker for your ass. The person who, and most of the time, people ain't stupid. Grown people, especially people, in their 30s, 40s, they experience life enough to understand what's going on. They know when somebody is going out of their way to treat them a certain way. You treat somebody as a priority and they treat you as an option. And what I mean by that is, for example, like, take for instance, okay, no matter what, whenever they call you or text you, you always answer the phone. You text them right back, and I don't mean like going out of your way type of answer the phone and all of that. I mean, like, if they call you and you are busy at the moment, but you always make sure you call them back, or they text you and you can't text right back at that moment, but you make sure that eventually you text them back. But that the other person, on the other hand, they pick up the phone when they feel like it for you. They won't even make an effort to call you back unless they want something from you. You know what I mean? That's a selfish motherfucker for your ass. And that's the motherfucker that you need to do your best to stay the fuck away from. I don't care how you feel about them. You might be like, well, I love this person, or I want to see where this goes. It's not going no fucking where. It's not going anywhere, because they're selfish and they're never going to see past themselves. So, I'm just saying, like, don't go out of your way for selfish people. Don't go out of your way for selfish people, because if you look at it, what's the worst case scenario? You know what I mean? If they decide they don't want to fuck with you no more because you don't answer the phone when they call, or you finally decide to tell they motherfucking ass no, fuck it. What are you losing? You're not losing anything. You know what I'm saying? The motherfucker that's going, you know, be there for you, and the person that is going to put that pedal down for you and mash for you, that's the person that you don't want to lose out of your life. But the sometimey motherfucker that claim they fuck with you and all of this and that, but yet they only come around when it's convenient for them or whatever, nah, you better off without that selfish motherfucker in your life. And that could be romantic relationship, that could be blood family, that could be whoever, your boss, you know, like different dynamics are applicable in different situations, but the same principles apply. A selfish motherfucker is not a good motherfucker, period. So that's just a little bit of what I wanted to talk about, you know. And I want y'all to also leave y'all comments down below. How do you feel about selfishness? What have your experiences been like? Have you had a time in your life where you look back on that and was like, dang, I was being selfish as shit? Or have you been through something where in hindsight, like at the time you didn't really understand what was going on, but in hindsight you can look back and be like, damn, that motherfucker was using me because they was a selfish motherfucker. And one more thing about selfish people. A selfish person, you'll notice that you could tell a person just straight up, like you could be like, look, it makes me uncomfortable when you treat me like this. Or, you know, and just tell them straight up, like, look, I don't appreciate when you do XYZ because it makes me feel bad. I don't like the way that makes me feel. And the only reason I feel like that is because you're doing this particular thing, and I really wish you wouldn't do that. If you can be explicit like that with somebody and tell them straight up and they still doing the same shit, they don't give a fuck about you. They give a fuck about themselves. And that's what I mean about selfish. So leave that shit down below. Let me know how y'all feel about selfishness. You know, and again, this is a conversation series that I'm just starting, so it has a lot of developing. I have to develop it a lot more, but I figured no time like the present. Just turn the camera on while I'm driving and start talking about this shit, and I want y'all to let me know what y'all think. Also, if you haven't done so already, I need you to click that subscribe button, turn your notifications on, so you could come and kick it with me, so I can kick it with y'all. And the next installment will come soon. I haven't decided on the frequency yet of how I want to do these, but the next installment will come very shortly, and all the topics will be in the same vein. You know, topics such as selfishness that apply to life in general. So, and if y'all have any topic suggestions, let me know down below too, man. I love to hear from y'all. So again, I'm gonna tell y'all, go ahead, click that subscribe button, turn your notifications on, come kick it with Coy, and thank y'all so much for tuning in. I love y'all. I look forward to hearing from y'all. All right, y'all. Bye.